Nope.
Maybe not either.
It's okay though.
It's not bad. It sounds like a South type song. So what do I know?
I don't know. What are we doing?
Alright, well, welcome to Picks from the Press Box, Week 7, Season 2019. And last week was not very good for both of us, but Papa did win, and that's why I'm wearing the Joker hat. And as he went 6-4, and that brings his total to 39-21. And I went 4-6, which brings my total to 38-22. So he's now one game ahead of me, which makes me mad, but I'm gonna have to make it up.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. And then you.
Copied you. We had the same picks.
Yes, and we went
Boy.
4-6.
Better learn from that mistake.
Oh, thanks.
Mhm.
That makes me feel good.
Oh.
Oh, this has been my worst week by far.
All right. Well, let's just try to put our best foot forward here.
Any games you like to talk about last week?
What did we watch last week?
Michigan, Iowa. That was a little impressive.
It was not very impressive. Thought Michigan looked terrible most of the game, but they were able to get it out with a strong defensive effort. Offense is atrocious.
They've played much better.
We can talk about how you handled adversity for 10 minutes for Ohio State.
No.
Oh, no, we don't want to talk about that? Who
No.
won the Ohio State-Michigan State game?
Ohio State, fortunately.
Was it ever in doubt?
Yes.
Think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
First quarter.
All right, what about this week?
What about Auburn, Florida?
Oh, Auburn, Florida. I watched it on and off. I guess they had some turnovers, right? Auburn, the kid, the quarterback.
Yeah, it was definitely another drunk game, but
Yeah.
Florida looks pretty good, but
We'll get to them here.
yeah, we'll get to them when they go down to Baton Rouge. All right. ACC. Florida State traveled up to Clemson.
For me?
Yeah.
I don't know why we're talking about this. Clemson. Come on, Florida State's a mess. Much less versus Clemson. Guess you have to pick one game against in the ACC.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if UVA's Miami's much better.
Well, I love this one.
Florida State, Clemson. Yeah, Clemson's pretty dominant. I have somebody's prediction, 43-16. That seems pretty accurate. I think Trevor Lawrence will have to. He'll play very good against that terrible defense of Florida State's, and I think Clemson will get the easy dub at home. And Papa agrees with us.
Okay.
Big 12, biggest game of the year by far for the Big 12. Oklahoma and Texas in the Red River Shootout.
I think it's politically correct to say the Red River rivalry these days.
Okay.
I think
whatever.
pretty much every year it's a big game in the Big 12, right?
It's the biggest.
Right.
Because no other team's good. Except for maybe Baylor.
All Big 12 fans are throwing rocks at you right now.
Mm.
All right, we Red River rivalry this year, so talk about Jalen Hurts first being inexperienced in this game. I heard that talk on the way in the car today, and but the fact that he's a very experienced guy, having played in the SEC for 3 years. Three, and a lot of big games, a lot of playoff games, SEC tournament game, SEC championship games. I think he'll be ready. I think that's just all kind of silly talk. Probably a lot of points scored, so I'll go with the defense that just makes one more stop, and one more stop than the opponent. I think that'll probably be OU. I don't think anybody's beaten OU prior to the playoffs without scoring at least 35 points. That's how I see their season right now.
Well, we all know both these defenses are pretty atrocious. Although I do think Texas's defense is just a bit better.
You do?
Yes,
you don't
I
think
do.
Alex Grinch has improved things at OU any? Okay.
No, their defense looked terrible against Houston, against all the other opponents. I'm not going to list them all off, but I think that they do get the job done in Dallas at the fair. I think it will be closer than you think, but I think Oklahoma gets the job done against Ellinger and boys.
Oh, I think it'll be. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think Texas will keep on coming even if they're down. So I could see it being maybe low scoring for a while, then just both defenses kind of collapse late. And it just go back
I
and
think
forth.
they'll collapse this first snap.
So
of
how
the
many
game.
points? What kind of score do you see?
I think total will be like 80.
So, yeah, that's a lot. 45-35, something like that?
Yeah, somewhere around that. But
Yeah.
I think we'll be closer than that.
Okay, let's move on.
Papa agrees with the Sooners.
Okay.
Big Ten. Penn State travels to Hawkeye country.
That's Iowa for y'all out there.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Iowa's I don't know enough about Penn State, so I know that quarterback's rolling pretty well and they put up some points. Iowa defensively looked pretty good against Michigan. Offensively not as much, but perhaps Michigan has more defensive talent than Penn State. I don't really know. This is really kind of a shot in the dark for me. I'm gonna go Penn State, but I don't have a whole lot to base it on.
Well, 2 years ago, I'm getting this from my notes. Penn State survived a game at Iowa Stadium and scored thanks to a last-second touchdown.
I remember that.
Yeah, I kind of.
Saquon Barkley was on that Penn State team.
Was that the year that Iowa beat Michigan?
Might have been the year they beat Ohio State.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I think that's right.
And then the year before, they beat Michigan.
Yeah, 2016 they beat Michigan.
But I think Penn State. I think this is their first test at all. Next week they will be traveling, or they will host Michigan, so that will be a big game.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is just a little fork in the road. I think they get the job. I think they get the job done.
This is trouble for an agreement all again, just like last week. What's Papa got?
Yeah, Penn State.
Okay.
But these are
Okay. Well, let's see.
pretty close game here. Pac-12, Washington State and Arizona State. I am sorry for saying the Pac-12 twice.
That's okay. We have the note here about, and I saw it, the Washington State defensive coordinator resigned, is no longer with the team. Again, I barely ever watched Pac football, so all I know is that's not a good sign, and it's going to take a while to fix a defense after something like that. So I picked Arizona State, who I can't tell you much about. I think I heard, see if anybody's watching can confirm, that they've got a really pretty electric quarterback at Arizona State, like a real scrambler type. So anyways, Arizona State's my pick.
Yeah, give me Arizona State also. With Washington State, I think this is a down year for Leach. They looked really good last year, and everybody thought, no, maybe they could win the Pac-12. Not their year.
Well, that UCLA game.
Yeah, that UCLA game. Like, I still thought that they could do some damage in the Pac-12. Not until that UCLA game.
Yeah.
And that UCLA game killed it for them. But yeah, I think they win. They win pretty decently at home. SEC, by far, biggest game of the week. In Baton Rouge, Florida LSU. For game day is going there.
Yeah, and I think biggest game of the week anywhere, if you ask me.
Oh yeah.
More than, our local friends will say it's always Texas OU, but...
well, that's a close second.
Okay, so Florida LSU, night game, so they're probably happy it's on ESPN, not on CBS, because they like the night games there at Death Valley.
Yes.
Florida's done some impressive things, but I still kind of think they're paper tiger, where I think LSU's offense this year, modernizing Burrow, I think that's the story of the year. You've heard me say there's just like a circle of about 4 or 5 teams that actually have a legitimate shot at the national title. In the last few years, I don't think LSU's been one of those.
This year?
This year, I think they are one of those because their offense...
You think they have a contender with Bama?
Yeah. I think they have a contender. They're a contender with anybody. They're my pick to click here. I think it's going to take way too much for that green quarterback for Florida to get things done in Death Valley. So, green means inexperienced. Vocab with Ben.
I guess I'm green.
Yeah.
Since I didn't know that.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, I think LSU wins pretty big. I think LSU, yeah, like you said, is happy as in that game. They like their games in Death Valley.
It'd be quite an environment for sure.
Oh yeah, nothing that Green quarterback has experienced, and this is his first. Last week was his first time starting a game since he was a freshman in high school.
Oh, that's right. He was a backup in high school.
That worries me.
That's quite a story since he made it to be starting the quarterback at SEC school, but after an injury. But
that worries me, especially with an environment like LSU and Death Valley. I think
I would expect Mullen to play it pretty close to the vest early on, at least. Pretty conservative, probably on the ball a lot, just survive the first period. That's the goal.
I think if I'm Dan Mullen, I'm more worried about my defense than my offense, because that LSU offense with Joe Burrow, they're great wide receivers. They have one good running back. And LSU's defense isn't even that tough this year.
They're probably tired of hearing that, though, so let's see if they can get a good performance. Also, another battle of two claimants of DBU, because LSU won the first Texas Southern DBU. Florida claims to be DBU as well, so LSU will have to keep fighting for that silly crown. Or
I didn't even know that was a thing until this year.
That's been a thing for a while, actually.
So, and Papa agrees with us. He is going with the Tigers.
Are we all... We're all playing chalk here.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Boring. Okay. What's next?
All right. It's time for the lightning round. Zap! All right. Virginia travels down to Miami.
Miami.
UVA. Papa agrees with me.
I'm the outlier. Okay.
Miami looked terrible last week against Tech. Tech Baylor.
Baylor.
Baylor's on a roll. They continue. Michigan State, Wisconsin. Oh, and Papa agrees. Baylor.
Okay. Wisconsin. On Wisconsin.
I think this will be closer than people think, but give me a Scotty. Papa agrees. USC, Notre Dame.
Irish.
Yeah, Irish win big. And then number 1, Bama versus non-ranked A&M.
Was he with us on Notre Dame?
Yes, he was with us on Notre Dame.
Bama A&M. Roll Tide roll.
Yes, I think Bama wins humongously. And it is time for our poll question.
Papa?
Oh, Papa. Sorry.
Suspenseful. Did he pick A&M?
Yes. No.
Yes. No.
He's going with the Elephants.
The Elephants. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that means Alabama.
All right. Poll question. Last week the answer was C. Oklahoma State.
That was what? Speak to it.
The fight song last week.
Fight song that we played last week at the beginning was Oklahoma State. Okay.
And C. This week, it was whatever the fight song was at the beginning, which I truly don't know. This week's you have A, Arizona State, B, the Hawkeyes of Iowa, C, the Red Raiders of Texas Tech, or D, Baylor Bears.
Okay. Get your votes in.
So yes, get your votes in.
Hi guys. Have
a good time. Me and him are gonna be camping.
Hi.